You're hitting the gym 3 to 5 times per week, but you're overeating and your meal proportions are off. This results in weight gain, bloating, and an undesirable figure. Well, it's time to put macro tracking to the test. Hi, I'm Sakina. I have a bachelor's degree in nutrition. Follow me while I transform my body in 5 weeks using macro tracking. A month ago, I launched my balanced blood sugar meal planner, complete with a digital macro tracker. Over the next 5 weeks, I'm going to put this planner to the test, along with the tracker, to see how I can sculpt my body using macro tracking. So before we go any further, it's important for us to do a body analysis. My body type is that of a mesomorph. That means that I have a athletic build, and I tend to build muscle pretty easily. My measurements upon filming this video were 29-inch waist, 36 hips, and 34.5-inch bust line. Now, I would like to see more defined biceps and triceps. I would also like to see a smaller waistline, and perhaps maybe, I'm not really sure about this one, but I want to grow my glutes, but I'm not sure if that will cause my waistline to increase or decrease because muscle mass is more dense. So I could actually shrink but have more curvature. Not quite sure how that's all going to work out, but we'll have to take a look and see. Now, 5 weeks isn't a long time, I know, but because of my natural ability to gain muscle mass, especially when I'm eating proper amounts of protein, my hypothesis is that I'm going to see a change and that it'll be a visible change as long as I'm consistent, I'm drinking water, eating protein, eating an overall clean diet with nice healthy fruits and vegetables, high fibrous carbohydrate sources. I do hypothesize that I'll see a shift and that it'll be visible for you all to see as well. Now, my macro goals are not quite defined just yet. I might share them in the next video, but I know for sure that my calorie goal will be about 1,300 calories per day. Fat and carbs, I want fewer carbs, more fat, but you have to remember that your carbs are what's going to fuel your workouts. That's what's going to fuel your muscles, and that's actually going to help me push through my workouts. I've chosen to omit my weight because the purpose of this series is not to lose weight per se, but to focus on actually sculpting and chiseling muscles. Whenever you are strength training, it is not uncommon for you to put on muscle mass and lose inches. You might actually gain weight, but you might lose inches, meaning your clothes are going to fit looser because muscle weighs more than fat and water. I also don't want to include my weight in this series because I know that there are a lot of people who get fixated on the number on the scale, and I don't want to encourage any body comparisons or unhealthy eating habits to try to match what my body is able to or capable of achieving. Every body type is different, and you're going to have to work closely with a personal trainer or a nutritionist like myself to figure out what measurements and weight goals are suitable and attainable and reasonable for your body type. And that's going to factor in a lot of different things. It's going to factor in your body type, how you hold weight, your height, and your current measurements. So my hypothesis for this little experiment is as follows. I think that I will lose 1 to 2 pounds as long as I stick to the plan. If I stick to my macros and calorie counts and drink plenty of water, I think I'll lose 1 to 2 pounds. And my hope is that I see more definition in my biceps and triceps, as well as a smaller, tighter waistline, and potentially a little bit more. I'm trying to, excuse me, I want to grow my glutes. So I'm not really sure if this will cause it to shrink or cause it to grow, because sometimes, muscle is so dense, it actually might shrink if I'm gaining more muscle, but I don't know. So I just want to grow my glutes. So that's my hypothesis there. So the tools that I'll be using to accomplish this are a few. I'm going to be using my balanced blood sugar meal planner for the majority of my meals. So this is just going to help me whenever I'm trying to decide which meals to eat, to meet my calorie counts as well as protein counts. But obviously I'm not going to eat every meal from this. And so to supplement my meals from my 30-day meal planner, I'm going to use my Fit Foods. And whenever I decide maybe I want to go get a salad from the grocery store, I can plug that into my Fitness Pal, and that'll help me with tracking macros and calorie counts there. I'm going to combine the two. So I'll have my calorie counts for the items that are not in the meal planner from my Fitness Pal, and my calorie counts and macros from my meal planner. And at the end of the day, it should all add up to whatever that caloric goal is. I am more of an intuitive eater, which means that I like to listen to my body, and I only want to eat when my body tells me that it's hungry. So if I'm not very hungry on a particular day, I'm not going to force myself to eat several meals to meet my calorie goals. If I only eat 800 calories that day, that's fine, as long as I'm not starving myself. But when I am hungry, I'll make sure that I'm choosing meals from the meal planner and that I can track on my Fitness Pal so that I can meet my macro goals for that day. One thing I do notice is that I've been hungrier lately because I am working out and doing a lot more strength training. I'm using a personal training app that I have a subscription for, and it already has the plans laid out for me. So it's actually really encouraging, and I'm actually excited to see some gains, because as I reviewed my overall diet for the past few days prior to this experiment, I noticed that I'm not really meeting my protein goal. So I do expect to see change within my muscle tone within 1 to 2 weeks of consistent training. That if I ramp up my protein intake, because I realize I'm not eating enough protein. In my next video, I'm going to get specific about each of my macro goals, and I'm going to go over what my diet looked like prior and what my diet will look like for the next 5 weeks. If you're interested in taking your meal planning more seriously, I encourage you to purchase my 30-day balanced blood sugar meal planner with the digital macro tracker, because it's going to help you reach your goals. It'll keep your blood sugar balanced throughout the day, and it'll make macro tracking that much more simpler for you. If you're serious, I'll drop it down in the description box. You can check it out there on my Etsy shop. If you want to make sculpting your body or reaching your weight loss goals more attainable, I highly suggest that you start a food diary, meal planning, and macro tracking. Okay, that's it.